the executive board would open the table for say like motions, and the motions could be of two types. One is motion for the moderated caucus to happen, and the other is the motion for the unmoderated caucus to happen. Now let me say the difference between this general speakers list and moderated caucus. Now general speakers list is like very non-specific. You can speak about whatever topic you wish to. And when it comes to moderated caucus, from the agenda you choose a specific part, and the delegates who have decided to speak for it will specifically speak in this part. Clear? Delegates?
Yes, you are clear.
Do you want me to go through it again?
No, it's fine.
Cool. Now, once we raise the table for motion, the verbatim for the motion for moderated caucus goes like this. The delegate of so-and-so country would like... Hello?
Yeah, continue.
Yeah, sorry. Delegate of so-and-so country would like to enter in... Hello? I'm sorry, I think it's breaking. Hello?
We can hear you.
No,
it's fine. We can hear you.
Hello, delegates. I really apologize for what happened.
It's fine.
Alright. We were setting the motion, the verbatim for the motion for the moderated caucus, right?
Yeah.
The delegate of so-and-so country would like to suspend the formal debate. Now, as you guys know, formal debate is the GSL. So you have to move from GSL into the moderated caucus, right? So to do that, you have to suspend the formal debate, that is GSL. So it goes like, delegate of so-and-so country would like to suspend the formal debate and enter into a moderated caucus for a time period of so-and-so, with each individual speaker getting a time period of so-and-so on the topic, whatever is decided. Clear?
Yes.
Can you repeat it?
Yeah. The delegate of, say, delegate of Japan would like to suspend the formal debate and enter into a moderated caucus for a time period of 10 minutes, with each individual speaker receiving a time period of 60 seconds on the topic XYZ. Is it clear, delegate?
Yeah. I have a doubt. Like in the delegate guide, there are some motions given. Can we can we raise those motions too? I mean the sentence format.
Delegate, sorry, please go ahead and please be louder.
Yeah. So in the delegate guide which the admins have sent us, in there the motions, the sentence structure are quite different than yours. Are we allowed to raise those motions too?
Alright. You could, but it's like it's better if you frame it in a better way, like in your own terms, and then put it in a topic kind of thing, and then raise the motion.
Okay. I got it.
Yeah, it still works.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Now that is the moderated caucus. Now let me tell you what an unmoderated caucus is. It is simply like if you chose to move into an unmoderated caucus for a time period of 10 minutes. It is more about how you convey your solutions or the problems or whatever it is to your fellow delegates. Consider it more like a recess kind of thing in between the committee where you can talk, move about. And this lobby is a word that's usually used in the evidence. It is more like how you negotiate and renegotiate terms and conditions, where you can get the delegates to one side, form blocks, and then pass the final draft resolution. Clear? Now, if you need your moderated caucus to be passed or any motion to be passed, you need to have a certain majority of votes. Alright, and that is where the unmoderated caucus comes into play. This is during this time where you can speak to your delegates, ask them about their view on the topic and the agenda, see how you guys align, see how you guys could pass resolutions together. Clear, delegates?
Yeah.
The verbatim for the unmoderated caucus goes like this. When you need to raise a motion, it's like the delegate of so-and-so country would like to suspend the formal debate and move into an unmoderated caucus for a time period of X minutes. Clear?
Can you please repeat that?
Yeah.
Say I'm delegate of Japan. So the delegate of Japan would like to suspend the formal debate and enter into an unmoderated caucus for a time period of X 5 minutes. Clear?
Yes.
Now the most crucial thing in the EMUNs and in the speeches or in the GSS is the time period. Usually the time is set to 90 seconds for the GSS. Now, say you have spoken for 45 seconds and you have 45 seconds left. What do you do with the time? Anyone?
You can pass it to the other delegate, right? Or you can pass it to the evening.
Yes. These are two things. But there is other thing too. Now suppose we have 45 seconds left and there is something called as point of information. This is where the other delegates get to question you. Alright. You can yield your time to the point of information. Now, when you don't want to yield the time to point of information and say another delegate has approached you to get some time from you, you can yield to another delegate. Like said. And now if there is no delegate who has approached you, then you can yield the time to the executive board. That is the chair and the vice chair. You can yield your time to us. And it is up to us how we would like to use your time. We may open the board or the floor for more point of information, even if you didn't choose it in the first place. You get it?
Yeah.
Now, the main thing you have to remember is time once yielded, it cannot be unyielded. Suppose you have given your time to the executive board, you can't ask it back. Clear? Delegates?
Yes.
Clear?
Yes.
So, can anyone go through what are the three types of yields? Anyone? Delegates? Come on, let's make it more interactive. Come on. Do you guys want me to go through it again? Sorry?
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
Fine. Clear. So let's move on. Let's talk about points. Anyone has an idea what are points for?
Sorry?
Does anyone have an idea what points mean in an MUN?
No.
Alright. There are four types of points. One is point of order, one is point of information, one is point of parliamentary inquiry, and the other is point of personal privilege. Now when it comes to point of order, it is specially used when you find an error in another delegate's speech. Suppose the delegate of Japan says the capital of India is Mumbai, which is factually wrong. Right. So you raise a point of order and then you quote and unquote. Quote is where you mention what the delegate of Japan has said, which you found to be incorrect, and unquote is the actual, correct, factual point. Delegate of Japan stated that the capital of India is Mumbai. That is your quote. And unquote is capital of India is New Delhi. Clear? That is point of order. Clear, delegates?
Yes.
Yes. Good. Now, point of information. Point of information is generally used when you want to ask another delegate a question from the speeches. Clear? Just remember, you can't ask a point of information about something that the delegate has not mentioned in their speech. The delegate of Germany has given a certain speech. Now 10 seconds are left and he yields the time to the point of information. Delegates willing to ask him a question would get up, raise the placard and say, point of information. That is when we recognize, and that is when, after we recognize you, you go ahead with your question. Clear?
Yes.
Now, point of parliamentary inquiry. What is parliamentary inquiry? It's very simple. It is just for you to know what is going on in the committee. Suppose you had a call and you have to leave the committee. When you come back, you just want to know what you have missed. So you raise a point of parliamentary inquiry and inquire about what has happened in the committee during your absence. Just the procedural things of the committee. Clear? Yeah. And now there is point of personal privilege. This is generally used when there is something bothering you, like you want to leave the committee or you want the AC to be like chilled or you want water, whatever it is, you raise a point of personal privilege. We recognize and you can ask us about it. Clear?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Now that comes down to parts where we have cleared the formal debate, the informal debate, then we have cleared about the motions, and then we cleared about the points and evils. Is there any doubt so far? No. Alright. Now there is something very specific which needs to be mentioned called as chits. As usual, when the committee is on, you can't talk with the fellow delegate, right? So to communicate with them, it's a non-formal form of communication. It's non-verbal form of communication, where you write your question or your need or your resolution, whatever which you want the other delegate to know or to ask or whatever it is, and then address it to him and send it via the EB or the member of the organizing committee. Now, if you want your chits to be marked, you send it via the EB. When you don't want your chits to be marked and you just want to communicate, tell him something or anything, whatever it is, you raise your chit and a member of the organizing committee would take it from you and give it to whomever it needs to be delivered. You just have to write it and fold it in such a way where in the front it is like from and to. From is, suppose I am Japan and I am sending it to Germany. It goes like from Germany to Japan. Now if it is through the executive board, you mention it down via executive board or via EB. Clear?
Yes. I have a doubt.
Yes, delegate, go ahead.
If we pass the chit via executive board, is there any advantage?
In our advantage as in, like we can see it.
Like what is the difference if we pass it via board or we directly give it to the delegate?
Via board is something when you want the executive board to notice it and mark you upon it. Suppose you have a very important point of information which you couldn't ask during the hearing, but you want the executive board to notice about it. So you send it via us and we'll notice it. And if we found it legitimate or it's very good, we mark it upon it. Okay. It's just a bonus scoring mark. Yes, sure. Anyone else? Anyone? No? No one. Alright. So coming down to the documents, it's usually the working paper or the draft resolution, which always comes in the end when it comes down to resolutions. I think it would be better if we discuss that in the committee during the second day, because a lot of things has to be explained to you guys manually. Would you guys be okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Because the first 2 days, it would be better if you guys understand the running of the committee, understand how the general speakers list or the moderated caucus works. And once you get used to it, during the second day, we'll explain to you what is documentation, and you guys could go forward with it. Is it clear? Is it okay?
Yeah.
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 Yes. Perfect. I think.
Chair, can you
Yeah, please delegate.
can you explain about the position paper ones?
Explain question papers.
Yeah.
Alright. So delegate, there is a certain format how you write the question paper. Coming to the formatting part, I will send you suppose an example how the formatting needs to be done. You can just look through it. It's simple. It says the mention of the agenda and the country or whatever. So in basic question paper is something you mention like how your country stands, where your country stands in regards to the agenda. Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
So it is more like setting your stand in the committee. This is what my country is, this is what my country does, and this is where it stands, and we stick to it. Do you
So
understand?
this paper has to be submitted by everyone to the board?
Yes. Because we would like to see what exactly or where exactly you have taken the stance in the committee and how you're sticking to it for the rest of the speeches you make.
Okay.
Clear? Just do a proper research about your country. Make sure you know your foreign policies. Alright. Make sure who are your allies and who are your enemies. And articulate your speeches in such a way where you can bring forward the problem as well as the solution. That's what you need to mention in the question paper.
Okay. Thank you.
Clear. Any other doubts, delegates?
And like, when do we have to submit the position paper? Is it on the first day?
I guess I'll just have a talk with the chairperson and I'll drop a message in the committee group. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Perfect.
Actually, the chair did mention that it should be submitted by the end of the first day.
Then it's the end of the first day. Before the last session ends, make sure you guys submit the question paper.
Yeah.
Clear. And if you have any issues regarding that, just email us on our email IDs, which we have mentioned in the background there. We are always here to help you out in that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other doubts, delegates? Do you want me to go through anything that has happened, or you want me to explain anything again? I'll do it. Just let me know.
Can I ask it? Can I ask it out?
Yeah, delegate, go ahead.
Can you tell when can a unmoderated caucus be changed into moderated caucus and a moderated caucus into unmoderated caucus?
Okay. Now, delegate, the main thing that you need to understand is the general speakers list. All the changes or the transforming or sliding, it happens during this. Now, let's say the general speakers list, we have taken as 10 speakers. 4 of them are spoken. Okay. Now, the chair or the executive board, we have decided to open the topic. They open the table for moderated caucus. Or any motion of your choice. So it depends upon how many delegates have raised a motion in the committee regarding the moderated caucus and how many of them have raised the motion for unmoderated caucus. It is during the voting of these we decide which happens, the mod or the unmod. Now suppose
Thank you.
delegate of Germany has raised his placard and he has chosen to establish a motion for unmod for 10 minutes, and we take the voting and the motion passes. Now if the motion passes, there is an unmod for 10 minutes. Now once 10 minutes end, we will revert back to the GSL. Here.
Okay.
Then we will take a few more speakers. Then we will open the table again for motions. Okay.
Yeah, understood. Thank you.
Okay.
Can you explain the working of the moderated and unmoderated caucus?
Working. Alright. Okay.
Like how it usually goes?
Yes. Now, as we understand, whatever sliding happens, it happens from the GSM. Right.
Right.
Now a delegate has raised his placard and he has chosen for an unmoderated caucus for so and so topic, let's say financial aspect. That's what he has taken. And
Okay.
he, for a time period of 10 minutes, with each individual speaker receiving a time period of 60 seconds.
Okay.
Now let's see the split. For 10 minutes, 60 seconds each speaker. So how many speakers do you think could be accommodated in that motion?
Sorry?
Now he has chosen 10 minutes for each speaker getting 60 seconds, right?
Yeah.
How many do you think could be accommodated in that particular motion?
10 speakers.
Yes.
10
10
speakers.
speakers. Now that starts. Each speaker would, we will just note down the names of speakers willing to speak in the moderated caucus. Okay, now once we get 10 speakers, it's done. You can't go ahead unless you want to raise a motion again to extend it. Now these 10 speakers have spoken. The mod pockets. Simple. The working is very simple.
Okay.
Once the mod begins, if there are more delegates willing to still speak on that particular topic, you can raise a motion again to extend the moderated caucus.
Yeah. Okay.
Then you revert back to the GSL once it's done.
So what exactly is the difference between a moderated and an unmoderated caucus?
Moderated caucus is first, it's like, okay, fine. See, general speakers are very non-specific speeches. You can speak about anything you want. You can speak about the education aspect, or you can speak about the right aspect, or whatever it is. But let's see. Let's take the agenda to be human rights. Very general, human rights of a person and so on, so war zones or whatever. Now we have spoken about the rights topic, general topic, and how rights are being violated so and so in your general speakers list. Now when it comes to mod, it is very specific. Very specific. Let's say right to education is a topic you have set your mod caucus for. Then in that specific mod caucus, you have to speak only about right to education.
Okay.
Now, unmoderated caucus, there are no speeches. It's like a recess break in the committee where you can go around, start lobbying, understand your fellow delegates' point of view, negotiate, renegotiate, get a solution, get a platform, get a resolution. That is what you do in the unmod. You form blocks in unmod.
Okay.
Clear. Have I cleared it out, delegate?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes, delegate.
Are there any situations in the debate where every single delegate has to speak?
There is nothing like, it's not mandatory or something like that, but we would appreciate it if you speak and you could participate. There is one thing which is totally like informal, which isn't really in the mandate of the EMUN, something called as round robin. That depends upon the discretion of the executive board if you choose to put it. It is usually done in the first timers committee where every delegate has to make a speech for 60 seconds. Just to break you guys out of that stage fear kind of stuff, But other than that, it's nothing. It's not mandatory, but we would appreciate your participation.
Okay.
Okay, good. There's a question which has been raised in the query box. It states, what if the mod caucus topics do not cover the actual issues faced by a nation? Which is history. Now, that is where you guys have to bring your lobbying skills. You have a specific set of mod caucus which you want to be discussed in the committee. Then make sure that there is lobbying done, that there is better number of votes on your side, better number of delegates are agreeing to what you wish to speak in the committee. You want to discuss it during the unmoderated caucus. That is what this time period is for. To make sure the topics are being addressed, which are the actual issues. Have I cleared your doubts, sir?
Can you please explain lobbying one? I'm sorry.
Delegate, I'm sorry. Can you go again? Please be louder.
Yeah, can you please explain what is lobbying? Okay.
Now, okay, fine. Now, say I am Japan. No, I'm Germany, and you are Russia. We have a different set of perspectives, right?
Yeah.
But there would be some common ground between us. Some common ground. Suppose, say both of us, we choose to respect right to education provided to it needs to be provided to everybody. That is something we stand common on. Or we choose to provide aid to people who are suffering in the war zones. That is something else we stand common on, right? Now, this is where we both could talk about the problem, we could talk about the solution, and we could reach a common ground and present it.
Okay.
Did you get me, delegate?
Yeah. I got you.
Now the thing is, we both are not, on the same page in many things. Suppose, let's say you are Germany and I am UK, United Kingdom. We both are European countries. We stand a common ground on a lot of things. So it is very easy for us to reach a certain, outlook on the entire proceedings of the committee, how the motions are to be framed, what topics are to be discussed, what problems are to be addressed. And that is where the lobbying happens. Lobbying is usually done for voting. If you want your motion to pass, certain, let's say, half of the committee needs half plus one. Okay, it's like 50% of the committee needs to be in par with your motion.
Okay.
Now, say if there are 10 members in the committee, you have raised your motion. 3 of us say yes to it and 7 of them say no to it, then your motion fails. How do you convince the remaining 7 to take a look at your motion and see it is an actual thing that needs to be discussed? You got to lobby. You got to convince them. You got to negotiate with them. That's what the UNHRC stands for.
Okay, I get it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other yes.
What are the advantages we get if we make an alliance with some country? If we coalesce or if we join with some other country, what are the advantages we can have?
Delegate, there is nothing like advantage or something. It is more like respecting your foreign policy.
Okay.
Now, suppose you say you're Germany and you're already an ally. You're friends with United Kingdom or other European countries. So the only advantage you could get from being an ally is you both have a common ground and a common solution. Okay. Now, the countries which are not your allies, you could convince them to take a look at it, to consider your solution.
Correct.
Okay. Someone has asked what is alliance in EMUN. can we form alliance? See, alliance is something like just knowing who are your enemies and who are your allies. That's one. If you want to form an alliance, just make sure that you're on common ground of something which doesn't disrespect your foreign policy.
Hi, I have a doubt.
Yes, delegate.
What are some areas which is mandatory for a research to cover?
Yeah. So, do you have the background guide on the delegate?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So, you just go through it thoroughly. We have even given you case studies, I believe. Once you understand how we have framed the background guide, you understand the topics which needs to be addressed and researched on.
Okay.
And please make sure you use legitimate sources for your research. Wikipedia is something that I would not suggest you guys to use. Make sure you use your country's sources, national platforms and stuff, and also the United Nations Human Rights Council webpage.
Thank you.
Okay. And another thing which I would like to bring to your notice is, please do not use I or me in the committee. You address yourself as the delegate of Germany or delegate of Japan, the delegate of Australia or whichever country you represent. There is no I or you or we in the committee. It is just the delegate of so-and-so. Clear, delegate.
Can we use devices in between of moderated caucus? Is it allowed?
Moderated caucus, I don't think so. I mean, I should speak to your chairperson regarding it. Devices in the sense like laptop or something to just look at and read from it?
No, for research purposes in between of discussions and moderated caucus.
Moderated caucus, I don't think there would be internet allowed, during that specific time period. But I don't think internet is usually allowed in the committee. Unmod, you could use it, but let me have a talk with the vice chair and let's see if he is okay, is considering and is considerate towards using the internet during the GSS, because many of you are first timers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Yes.
What is the point of the case studies? Like, we have 2 case studies, right? So what relevance do they have with our EMUN?
Delegate, these case studies have been framed in accordance with the agenda. It is just to give you an insight of the kind of things which could be addressed from issues like that.
Okay, so while we give our mod caucus or whatever, we don't have to address these case studies like Bhopal gas tragedy or anything.
That is up to you, delegate. If you want to make a relevance or anything, it's up to you. But if you don't want to make it at the same time, it's not an issue. It's fine.
Okay, so these are just put forth as like examples.
Examples and to get you to just let you have an insight. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Any other doubts, delegates? Okay, there's a query here. Are there going to be several agendas that will be discussed or just one throughout the program? Delegate, the agenda is just one throughout the program, but there will be several topics, several parts of the agenda that will be discussed during the entire 3 days. Clear, delegate? Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes, delegate.
In the position paper, like, should we only talk about the agenda, or can we also add the topics?
Position paper is more like a stance, delegate, to the agenda. Where your country stands in regarding in relevance to the agenda. Correct. But if you do want to mention certain topics or anything which your country has been doing, then yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Yes, delegate.
So are we allowed to use the pronoun we in our speeches, like word couple speeches?
We. Yeah, we.
Yeah, we.
If you are first addressed, so suppose in your entire speech there is like 10 lines. The first 2 lines you have already addressed the country you're delegating for, then it's fine. You can use we.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other doubts, delegates? Or do you want to take some time? How is the price for capture? That will depend on how the committee goes, sir. Yes, got it. Delegate. Any other doubts? Or do you want to take some time, go through everything, go through the ROPs once more, and then text us or email us about it?
I have a doubt.
Yes, delegate.
In the position paper, we are supposed to write the solutions for the problems of the agenda, right?
You could address the solutions as well. If in the conclusion, you can just go like, my country has, Germany has done so and so, and this is what we stand for, and this is how we continue to stand for, and etc.
So that's not mandatory?
I wouldn't say mandatory, but it would be good to mention. So that it would be good to mention the relevance, why you're standing for it, right?
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, I have a doubt actually.
Yes, delegate, go ahead.
How many pages for the position paper can we write? What is the page limit of that?
Page limit, that I would like to discuss with your chair, because page limit I don't think there is any, but maybe we would like to put a word limit or something. We'll see. We will let you know.
Okay.
Okay, someone has mentioned the page limit is 2. If your chair has already mentioned, then it is 2. Okay, 2 pages. 2 pages it is delegate. Alright. Any other doubts?
Is it important, like, is it mandatory for us to draft resolutions or no need?
Is it mandatory for you to draft the resolution?
It is mandatory.
No, delegate, I didn't get your question. Please go on.
No, I'm asking if it's mandatory for us to draft resolutions.
Mandatory to draft resolution. What else are you delegating for if not for the solutions? Resolution is nothing but your solutions, right?
Yes.
So if that is not where the committee is headed to, then it would be pointless, no?
Yeah.
So it would be good to mention or to get the resolutions on board.
Oh, alright. Thank you.
Perfect. Any other doubt, delegates?
No doubt.
Okay, perfect. And later, if you guys need any help, please do reach out to me. I'm there for you guys, okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Where can we reach out to you? Through the group or email?
Yeah, you can reach out to me through the group. And there is also my email ID I mentioned in the background.
Okay.
You can use it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Perfect. Bye-bye. Have a good evening. Bye.